Hey YouTubers, Mike Martins here with the Mike Martins channel. Well, this video is very important. How long could the Canadian real estate market take to recover? That is very important, and we got a key graph here, a very key graph. I think we got the key to the lock now. We don't have to pick the lock anymore. So for estimating how long it might take for the Canadian housing market to come back in order, well, here it is. From Better Dwelling, Canadian real estate prices make the biggest jump in the G7 during the pandemic. So that's okay, but we're not talking about that. I want to tell you what I want to talk about. Japan. So let's take a look at Japan here. Now, Japan started to really pick up in the 80s, right? And then things started to go haywire in the 90s. And then boom. The second 94 hits, Japan starts hitting into the stagflation, zombification nation that it's in right now. And it's never looked back. And there's the prices making a huge drop until it gets up to about right there where you see the zombification plateau nation where it goes nothing, it goes nowhere. So from 2010, so from 2000, no, was that 1990, 91 to about 2006. That's how long it took for Japan to recover. Or for housing prices, look at over here, and then look at Japan back here. So you see that? This is when things were okay. This is when affordability levels were within wages, right? But then this happens, and then now it goes back into this plateau. So it's going to take anywhere from 10 to 15 years to see a recovery in other countries. If provided they keep the interest rates low, maybe go negative. If they keep pumping money into the markets like Japan has for the last, 20 years, all this stuff adds up. Now, and it adds up to keeping it going, right? And technically, let's go theoretically. If they kept the markets on autopilot, let's say right here, right about there, you should have seen a drop back to here. It should have come back down to earth right here. It should have been about right there. Instead, it took this long for it to come down. So pay attention. This is what might happen in Canada, where it's all the way up here, and if the governments keep interfering, you're not going to see this a correction like a drop in correction, right? So let's take a look at the next one. I actually want to show you guys. Let's look at the United States of America, okay? So United States of America is blue. So let's take the United States of America back here from 1975, right? And then over here you got the Jimmy Carter administration. Then you got the Reagan administration. Nothing really is happening much here, right? And because remember, interest rates went up here big time. And things kept going. And then it wasn't until about 2000. And then you had the run up till 2006. 2007, and then in 2008, you saw your collapse, and now prices are emerging forward, right? Hopefully, wages have kept up to make that offset here, and the people that jumped on the market here are doing okay, but the people that are jumping on the market now, very uncertain, very huge uncertainties happening if you bought within the last year in the United States of America. Now, let's go to Germany. Now, Germany is very interesting. Watch this. You got this big growth here in the 80s, then it plateaus, and then it goes back down. And then you get this housing prices pretty much stay stagnant for about 30 years. And then things start to creep up here, and they're starting to go up too. In Germany right now, today, prices are going up on housing. Okay, let's take a look at France. Now, France is this bright purple here. So France, within affordability range, and then it was right here in the 2000s, when the French and deregulation of banks and the creation of the euro is about right here. The creation of the euro, and that's when everything went to hell right here. And then prices seem to be upticking here, according to what this trend's saying. And the United Kingdom is a very interesting one. It's the light blue. So back in these days, the average person could live in London and raise a family and send their kids to school and the whole 9 yards. But look at this. Excuse me. Look at this here. Prices went haywire here. and it looks like they're about right there. So London's been in a correction too for the last 6 quarters. Okay. And then Italy. Italy is very interesting too. Take a look at Italy. Ba, 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 ba. And then it goes back, and then it goes back, and then it goes back down to correction mode. So Italy meets its correction. It should, like from what you see up here, from where it was back in the 70s, it should have met wages now. Now it should be within wages in Italy. So if you have an average paying job in Italy, you should be able to jump on the property market, right? And then we did Japan already. And this is important because Japan could play the role to kind of show the rest of the Western world how the correction, if the correction takes place with government intervention, and you can look at 20 to 30 years to see a correction in the housing market. I understand that a lot of people are probably teed off. Unless the government shuts everything off, lets the markets ride on autopilot, which they should be, and this would just drop. It would fall off the map. But over here, now if you go back here to Canada in the 80s, this is when it was really prosperous. This is the first crash we had back in 1980-81, if you guys remember that. And that's when gold spiked back in 1980. I think it was January 1980, gold spiked like crazy. So there it is right there. And man, and then we had another housing bubble here, if you guys remember 88, 89, 90. And then there was a correction there. But we've had the corrections, but it looked like that wages were keeping up until wages fell off the map right about here. And then where wages weren't going up, but housing was going up. Right? The price of things were going up. Now we're going into stagflation because unemployment's going up, right? Unemployment goes up, and the cost of goods go up. So that's becoming a huge, and the cost of goods go up, but unemployment goes up. That's a huge, huge issue. So I kind of wanted to throw that out there. So here it is, guys. Canadian real estate prices see the biggest jump in Q2. So home prices climbed 2.42% in Q2 in 2020 when compared to the previous quarters. France is a distant second. So here it is here. So there's Canada right there. There's the prices of things going up right now, even during, and what's going down, Japan and the UK, of course. Like I said, UK has been in a correction forever now. They've been in a correction. And I think for the last 6 or 7 quarters, like it's been a while, UK has been in a correction, right? So the United Kingdom is this light blue. So there's the correction right there. It went into a correction here back in 2015, and then it kind of got an uptick. They started advertising in foreign countries to come and invest in England. It's safe, best schooling and everything, and then that screwed the British up. Canadian real estate sees the second fastest annual growth, and the G7 real estate index price index. There it is there again. So guys, this is Japan right here. So look how long it took for prices to come down to earth. Right? It took about 20, 30 years for it to finally come down to earth. But Canada, man, how long will that take? Oh, man, I don't even know. The US, UK, and Japan had less impressive home price gains over the past year. When adjusted for inflation, the US saw prices increase 3.37% in Q2 2020. The price increase index in the United States, I'm going to explain to you guys why. It's the people mass exiting California, Oregon, and Washington State, New York, and Massachusetts that are moving inland. So basically, it's wagons east from the west moving inland, and they're creating this artificial bubble in other cities like Arizona, even Salt Lake City, Utah, New Mexico, Albuquerque. They're all seeing these artificial bubbles. Reno, Nevada are seeing artificial bubbles with this because people are house migrants and they want to get out of the states they're in because the affordability levels are through the roof. Mind you, for every one homeless person in LA County, there's 4 empty condominiums or units. So I'm not saying to give free stuff away, but I'm asking to be manageable or reasonable when it comes to collecting collecting rent. At least get something for your empty unit, right? California needs to pass vacant home tax big time, like 30%. 30% tax. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I look very forward to reading. I kind of want to show this one more time again. So, how long, in the comments below, if you guys get a few minutes, I want you guys to comment and tell me, how long would you see Canada make a correction like Japan did and actually bring the cost of the cost of real estate down so that people back to about 1981 price. That's what we're looking at here, about 1980, 81, yeah. We're looking at 81 price. So how long do you guys think that will take realistically for Canada, Australia, all these other countries to see some sort of proper correction? Provided, again, the government doesn't sprinkle pixie dust over everything. Comment below. Look forward to reading your comments. Thanks for subscribing and sharing this video.